Galimera. Good morning. And as you can see here, last night we had a really whopping storm here last night. Everything was thrown all over the veranda. Jane and I were up in the early hours, basically picking all her plants up and trying to get them into some form of safety. The furniture was going all over the place. I even moved my bike round just to get it out of as much of the wind as possible. But last night we had a heck of a night last night. But this morning, as you can see, we've got some sun. We had a rainbow. That photograph that I put up on my page, I was hoping I would have captured the rainbow that was taken last night this morning, but no, it didn't come up on the picture. But anyway, big shout out to Jan, who's up the road from us. I don't know how bad you were hit where you lived last night, but I know where we are in Macardo, yeah, it was pretty stormy last night. And and by the way, the ferries were in port as well. They haven't been sailing anywhere, but I'll get to that in just a short while. But anyway, it looks like the sun is out at the moment. It is quite windy at the moment, so I will be doing the rest of the podcast inside. But anyway, that's a quick look outside. I do know people like to see what it's like as regards the weather. So where is he? Oh, no, that's not here. There he is. There's Mr. Boots, the birthday boy from yesterday. Bless him. Right, okay, let's crack on and get on with the news. Sam says, morning, Ginge, off to work. I go, milder and drizzly here. Well, bless you. Right, okay, there's been a lot going on within the last 24 hours, not only just here in Greece, but also in the UK. I'm going to actually cover the UK in a little bit today because I think it's just important, especially from the side of Jane and I, who are looking to come to the UK, or we've booked to go to the UK on the 15th of December, just to see where we are going to stand at the moment, because at the moment things are not looking good. And of course, hysteria now is doing the rounds as they found another variant. And basically, I'll come on to that in just a short while. But anyway, just quickly, thank you to Amanda for a concise weather forecast. She said, morning, Ginge, today's weather, falling temperatures, strong winds with showers. Temperature 14 degrees, will feel like 10 degrees. Have a nice day. Have a great day. Cheers. Thank you for that, my lovely. Right, COVID in the last 24 hours. Got to say this, infection rate has gone up. Can I just make it clear at the moment? People were writing up that supposedly 3 cases of this new Omicron variant has been discovered in Greece. At the moment, I can find no news items to confirm that at the moment, unless somebody knows something different. As far as I'm aware, it hasn't got here yet. All right, it is in the UK, and I'll come on to that in just a short while. But as far as I'm aware, as of last night, no cases have been detected here in Greece. All right, let's crack on with the daily COVID infection rates for the last 24 hours. Right, the infection rates are up within the last 24 hours. You might remember yesterday I said there was 3,823. Yesterday was a Monday, and Monday means the weekend has been and gone. However, today it seems that we now have 6,677 new infections. That brings the number up now to 931,183, and 11 new cases were detected at entries into the country, which was up on the day before where we had 10. So it wasn't as many as that, all right? Anyway, now, can I just say thank you to Lindsay Lamb, who corrected me yesterday, saying that Zakynthos is now in the amber, not in the red. That happened on Friday. I was not aware of that on Friday because I was taking the news from the Thursday. But anyway, I've amended my map so far. But anyway, cases in Macardo at the moment. 4 new cases were detected. That was down on the day before where there had been 5. Macardo is still in the green. Corfu at the moment, they had 91 new cases detected. That's up on the day before where they had 65. They are in dark red. The prefecture of Kefalonia, they had 10 cases detected yesterday. That is up on the 7 on the previous day. They are in yellow, so they had been dropped down from amber down to yellow. And as for Zakynthos, we are now in amber. We had 15 new cases detected yesterday on the island. That is up on the day before where we had 10. So again, thank you to Lindsay for just keeping me informed about the change in the map, which I had missed. When it comes to deaths at the moment, deaths have got, there has been an increase in deaths. Yesterday I reported to you 96 deaths. The day before that it was 82. Well, yesterday we had 104 new deaths across Greece. Once again, our condolences to those families affected. That brings the toll now up to over 18,067. 95% of those people had underlying health issues or were over the age of 70. And as of now, so far, again, this has been written in the Greek press. None of these deaths have been attributed to the Omicron virus. So again, it hasn't been detected here. Nobody's died of it here. And I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. Let's not add to the hysteria that is already being added by governments. Also, as well, when it comes to critical cases in ICUs, that has gone up. Yesterday, I said it was 647. Today, it is 657. Of those 657, 395 of those are male. 262 of those are female. The average age of those people at the moment is about 65 years of age. 80.8% of those have underlying health issues or are over the age of 70. Now, regarding critical patients and their vaccination status while they are being treated, 526 of them, they are vaccinated, non-vaccinated are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated. So they've had one dose of the jab, and 131 are fully vaccinated. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to change vaccination status the way that the UK has done, where they're basically saying until you've had the booster jab, you're technically not fully vaccinated anymore. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a play on figures as well that might come out there, where they're going to readjust it that people who haven't had three shots with the booster jab are now technically classed as partially vaccinated. It'll be interesting to see if they start to play with figures as things go on. Moving on to the news for today, I thought it was important. I might start doing this in my podcast. Again, as I just said at the introduction of the show, having a look at what's going on in the UK, doing a comparison between Greece, because to be honest, I find a lot of times that Greece had been following what UK had been doing, and to a certain degree, the UK had been following a little bit what Greece had been doing, especially in the early part of the pandemic, way back. But anyway, in the UK at the moment, boosters for everyone over 18. They're not going to have to wait very long. That's been slashed now to 3 months. And children aged between 12 to 15 now can have a second shot as well of the vaccine. Now, 11 infections have been detected in Britain so far. This in Scotland, I think, has had something in the region of about 5, and the rest have been down in the UK at various locations, quite spread out around the UK. You've got Essex, you've also got Nottingham, and there were also 2 cases detected yesterday in London. So at the moment, to date, when I actually wrote this news, there were 11 infections in total in the UK for a population of 60 million people. All right, let's also put that into perspective as well. Now, some experts have claimed that the Omicron might be so optimized for infecting people, but it is less lethal than the previous strain. The South African strain was the other one that was in the press. There's also been quite a numerous other strains that haven't made the news, and that is why we're up to the letter O and Omicron, all right, in the Greek alphabet. So anyway, South African doctors say the patients that they have been treating the mutant virus with appear to have much milder symptoms than they have had in the past. Also, there's reports that some people get it, don't even realize that they've had it until they're actually tested. And again, very much so, it is milder but not deadly at the moment. However, we'll wait and see how that works out. However, daily COVID cases, deaths and hospital admissions in the UK we're talking about now. The Department of Health said COVID cases fell by 5% in a week, and another 42,583 positive tests were registered. The latest hospitalisations in the UK fell by 12% and deaths dropped by a fifth. So you've got to be asking yourself, why all this hysteria from the government, the British government we're talking about now, about this new variant that has come, which supposedly, yes, it's more infectious, but the symptoms are milder. All right. Anyway, however, from today at 4 a.m. in the morning, this morning, the UK has now introduced compulsory face masks, which are to be worn in shops, public transport, hairdressers and beauty salons, with also secondary schools being advised to enforce them in corridors and also in school dining halls and canteens. However, you've got to wear a mask going into shops and going into the barbers and going on public transport, but you don't need to wear one to go into a bar or go into a restaurant or go into a cinema, as far as I'm aware, but you have to wear them in the shop. So you can go out, have a drink, have a few beers, go and hug your mates in the bar. Christmas parties probably be on the way soon, and yet you don't need to wear a mask. Again, this ludicrousy of what the British government are doing at the moment, people are waking up and thinking, do you know what? This does not feel right, especially with Christmas just around the corner. They're talking about no lockdowns, no lockdowns. Our Prime Minister has said the same in his rhetoric, but you just get that feeling that they're just pushing towards wanting to do that. Also, interestingly, the Home Secretary, Sajid Javid, confirmed that MPs will get a chance to debate and vote on the measures today at some point about the spread of the variant. And also there was talk as well, although nothing has been confirmed, that they're going to do this. But once you start hinting at it, you just feel it's round the corner, that they're going to turn to a travel red list for countries where Omicron has been detected. And obviously the mandatory masking in shops and public transport in England, they're going to discuss that as well. However, this returning to the red list, this is why now, let's make this perfectly clear. The new variant has not been detected here in Greece at the moment. We'll wait and see. Greece has taken precautions, although some of the precautions are a little bit kind of say wishy-washy at the best of terms. Say again?
I'm saying it'll be here.
Yeah, it probably will arrive at some point. But again, at the moment, it hasn't. But the danger is now, are we going to be ended up or looking upon as being on a red list? So again, I don't want MPs in the UK to suddenly start doing what they did last year during the summer on the build-up to start this red list bollocks, shall we call it, which means people can't then travel. There's a lot of people I know in Greece who are either wanting to go to England to see family or family come here for the Christmas period. So again, I'll be keeping an eye on that as well. Right, let's get on to what's happening in Greece at the moment. Again, this is the rhetoric that's being used here in the Greek press, and this is what worries me about this hysteria now that the media is trying to whip up as opposed to the science that is already known about this new variant. And this is the wording. This is not me writing this. This is what's been written in some of the Greek media. I've potterized it and put it down. As the World Health Organization declares the world at high risk, from the Omicron mutation, it was stressed that rapid action is needed to slow the spread of the virus. It is reported that the leaders of the European Union are considering holding an extraordinary summit via teleconference on Friday, this Friday coming, to discuss the crisis and what action can be taken. Health ministers of the G7 countries, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the UK and the US have also agreed to hold a meeting in December to discuss the threat. So with rhetoric like that, you just feel we are just round the corner from more measures coming into place. Boris will go against everything that he said about no lockdowns, no lockdowns. I have a feeling Mitsotakis is going to go the same way. And the reason is Mitsotakis wants to stay in with the EU. He was the golden boy of the EU when the pandemic first started. He's been pushing for his passport controls, etc., with the old COVID quarantine passport and things like that. And I just feel the agenda now is it's all going to be, well, we're not going to disrupt Christmas, but it's already happened. But it's happening in small ways already. Already today, we're hearing about the schools at the moment in the UK wanting to reintroducing their bubbles. All right. And the teachers' unions in the UK are already saying, oh, we should be going back to teaching online at home rather than the kids going in. Why? I think a lot of them have been very comfortable at home, sat there, still getting paid, doing lessons online, not having to actually meet their pupils, help their pupils, and basically being very comfortable, shall we say, while other people like myself who rely on working and going out, meeting people and doing their job have been put at risk because we're not getting any bailout, we're not getting any extra help, but these people working in those areas are. So again, we shall wait and see what happens here. But anyway, that's the rhetoric at the moment that Greece are doing. They're kind of ramping the ante up as well. Anyway, another story. Again, it's COVID related. And this is the darker side of what's happening with COVID here in Greece. A public prosecutor in Thessaloniki is investigating incidents where people are approaching relatives of patients hospitalized with COVID-19, promising an intensive care unit bed for the price of over 3,500 euros. Now, hospitals in Thessaloniki have been reporting daily of the shortage of ICU beds and many incubated patients in regular wards. Taking advantage of patients and their relatives' anxiety, other people have been offering drugs against COVID-19 or even the monoclonic antibodies. Now, that was that new antibody that just got released within the last couple of weeks, which is basically administered to people who are incubated. And it's just another form of post-treatment for people in incubation to help fight the virus or the virus that they have at the time. Anyway, the latest incident was reportedly a woman who called a patient's wife offering an ICU bed for the price of 3,500 euros. Now, the man is hospitalized in Agiopavlos Hospital and he is incubated outside the ICU. Now, according to the commander, that's what they call the hospital administrators, commanders of the Agios Pavlos Odessia in Cardassia, he received a call by a policeman on roads last week that an ICU bed was offered by a woman to his father-in-law incubated outside the ICU. Now, the woman claimed she was the hospital official with great power in the facility and the knowledge of the coronavirus and incubations. That's the way they're coming across on the phone. She told the patient's daughter if she wanted that the father remains alive, which was possible only if he was transferred to an ICU, and the daughter must give her 3,500 euros. Now, the policeman handed over to the commander both the data of his father-in-law, his wife, but also some contact data of the alleged scammer. Now, some of the health ministry told the Greek website Newsit that there are scammers in hospitals, mainly in northern Greece, who locate people who are trying to be treated in serious conditions in hospitals and under the pretext that they will find them an ICU bed, drugs against COVID, or even the new monoclonal antibodies, and extract thousands of euros from desperate patients who are wanting to save their relatives. Note that only 2,000 doses of the monoclonal antibody have arrived in Greece via the EU and are administered under very strict protocol in just 10 hospitals across the country. Now, according to Kassatis, there was a similar incident of an ICU bed also for a patient in the Palagona hospital. The commander handed over to the first instance prosecutor of Thessaloniki all the available data that he had in the case and said that such incidents happen without the knowledge of the administration. Also, the question is, of course, is how the scammers get the phone numbers of patients, relatives, Due to COVID protocol, relatives are not allowed to visit their loved ones. However, their phone numbers are registered on hospital records for any case. So again, a lot of questions there about, it sounds like data security also, as well as the fact that people are taking advantage of people who can't see their relatives, who are in a lot of the ICUs, and are at the mercy of whatever happens to them. And you've also got to remember that in Greece, technically the National Health Service still relies on families very much so for the care of their relatives while in hospital. The nurses and that do all the medical side, but the actual nurses and the actual families do a lot in the way of caring for their families while in hospital. So again, it's interesting. We'll see how this pans out, see if this has been common across Greece. It sounds like it's a very, very major thing. It's not being played up too much in most of the Greek media. I've not seen that in other things, but in some of the other independent Greek media, this story is being heightened up. So again, I'm going to keep an eye on that as well. Going back to the weather then, the stormy southern winds have disrupted sea travel in Zakynthos on yesterday and also for today. And according to the National Meteorological Service, winds are blowing with an intensity of 7 to 8 on the old scale, Beaufort scale, and up to 9 actually in the Ionian Sea, where we are, all right? Ships in Zakynthos, Ithaki and Kefalonia remained in dock on Monday. Media also reported several ferries had to cancel their schedules from the port of Ferries to the Kalidis and the Deccanese Islands on Monday afternoon. Also from the port of Rafina and Livro in southeastern Attica, several ferry schedules had also been cancelled as well. Not sure if the ferries are going out today, but just be aware if you are trying to get somewhere for a hospital appointment or that, make sure you get in touch with your ferry office to find out whether they are sailing. At the moment, the winds are still pretty blustery where we are. I don't know what it's like down at the port or where the sea is, but as you've seen at some of the pictures I posted over the weekend, we've had some very, very rough seas and high winds. As you'll see from the damage we also sustained on the island through a tornado hitting as well. Also as well, the Greek foreign minister calls on citizens in Ethiopia now to depart as soon as possible due to the highly fragile and increasingly unpredictable security situation as the armed conflict continues there. Now, in a warning issued on Monday, the Greek Foreign Ministry stressed that travel by Greek citizens to the country is completely discouraged. I don't know why people will want to be going there in the first place. It also adds that Greek citizens living in Ethiopia are advised to depart as soon as possible using available commercial flights. Interestingly, we'll see what their medical status will be when they start to arrive back. So again, that's another little area where we'll keep an eye on. I'm not sure if Ethiopia was one of the countries that was also on the list for danger from the new variant as well. Also another local story for you. You might remember yesterday the sirens, if you were here, going off in town to fanfare the start of the earthquake precaution exercise. Well, that was carried out on Monday, and according to the local press, it's been an absolute success. The actual exercise was held in and around the area of the Zakynthos regional area at the end of Alexandra Roma Street. Now, this was all done basically within the seismic risk management for the Ionian Islands authority. The exercise was carried out by the Department of Civil Protection for Zakynthos in collaboration with the OSAP. Plus, for the purpose of the exercise was to highlight the weaknesses and strengths of the application of measures to be put in place, the emergency plan, in the event that we should have a very intensive earthquake here. Anyway, the fire service was involved in that. They were practicing rescuing people from buildings yesterday. The Zakynthos Police Department was also involved. Their main job is to keep the roads clear so that emergency vehicles can get in and out to the hospital. Also, the Zakynthos Port Authority, they were also involved as well. Also, the National Ambulance Service of Greece, they were involved as well in the transportation and carrying out first aid for simulated casualties, along with the Red Cross and the civil protection volunteers. Those are the people who just go out to help clean up, sort out, and also assist the emergency services. And also the public health structures also participated in the exercise. I'm not exactly sure how involved they were because of the COVID restrictions that were also in place as well. But anyway, hats off to them. Hopefully they aren't called upon in reality, although there has been an earth tremor on 5 in Greece this morning. I did see that quickly. I can't remember the name of the place, but again, we do have them from time to time. But 5 is quite a shake at the moment. Also, as well, another little bit of news locally: 329,000 euros has been earmarked for photovoltaic solar cells on the roof of the Thai University building, which is in Panagula here in Zakynthos. This is going to obviously make the building more efficient in regards to its carbon footprint. This is what's been said by the regional director and the Minister of Education, and also help to keep the costs down on bills for electricity and that, and also for the universities be forward thinking as well. Plus as well, of that 329,000 euros, money has also been allocated from that amount for the purchase of an electric vehicle. So maybe they're going to get a minibus, a battery-powered minibus as well, again, to help the carbon footprint here of Zakynthos on the world. But anyway, that's the news from Zakynthos. Just going to have a quick look at those people that are tuning in at the moment. Big shout out to Dave Coldwell over there in the US. Nice to have you looking in. I think could be a family relative. Pete Baldwin as well. Nice to have you tuning in as well. Also, Wendy Norcliffe is watching as well. Alan Cowell is also tuning in as well. Patrick Curtin as well tuning in from where is it? Oh, from Cyprus. Also, Sam Curtis as well. Nice to have you tuning. Thank you for your list you dropped me last night. You've saved my life. I've sent you a private message. You'll know the situation that I'm in at the moment. And Barbara Telfer is also watching as well. Right, thank you for that. Jan up the road from us said, very scary last night. I thought the roof might fly off. Bless him. But it didn't, though. That was the main thing. We've just had a new roof put on the roof here. So again, hats off to the guys who put that roof on because it's still there. But anyway, I'll keep my ear to the ground. If I hear of anything, I'll let you know. You take care. Have a great day. And I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.